Turns out Steve Bannon is convicted of contempt in relation to the inquiry for the January 6th, the Capitol riot. There were 2 counts, found guilty of them. I believe we have Thane Rosenbaum, sorry. Thane, I want to make sure I'm correct in what I'm saying, and your take on this.
You're absolutely correct, Bob. Bannon was found guilty of 2 counts of criminal contempt for both not appearing for his giving oral testimony to the January 6th Select Committee and not producing any documents. The trial was only a few days. It's largely unprecedented, most people should know. The criminal contempt of Congress, I think the last time there was a conviction was the early 30s. So you're talking about 70, 80 years ago was the last time that someone received this conviction. Bannon's lawyer in the last day or so was making new arguments saying, among other things, last night he filed a motion saying, how's my client getting a fair trial when the jury's going to go home and watch the primetime January 6th Select Committee? Yes, the jurors are instructed by the judge not to watch TV, but they will, and they probably did. And by the way, Bannon's name came up, and in fact, a recording of something he said was presented last night. So that argument the judge obviously rejected, and the jury obviously, saw him. Yeah. Essentially, the argument here had to do with him simply failing to appear in being in contempt of Congress. But the defenses were also all rejected by the judge.
Thane, we spoke with Alan Dershowitz earlier this week, who said, of course, he's going to be found guilty, but he does feel that he might be able to go to appeals court to get that overturned. What do you think about that?
So, Katrina, this goes to the issue of executive privilege. We've now heard this a number of times, right? The whole point of an executive privilege is so that the president can have frank and open conversations with his or her advisors without the advisors fearing that one day they will be subject to criminal penalty. That's what the privilege is for. And so we've seen this with connection with Navarro and Meadows and Scavino. We've now heard this a number of times. The Supreme Court's never other than in the Nixon case, they never really talked about this particular issue about the advisors, the protection of advisors. So it's possible that this conservative Supreme Court will be interested in it. Here's the problem. Bannon wasn't working in the White House at the time that they were seeking evidence for these charges. He was in criminal contempt of Congress at a time when he was not an Oval Office person. What they want out of him, it was that he was involved in a December 20th meeting at the Willard Hotel. Right. And they're looking for evidence that the president's advisors or colleagues or Bannon were engaged in some conspiracy, some overt acts in furtherance of what happened on January 6th. Yeah. But again, it's not clear he wasn't working for the president at the time. Yeah,
we'll continue to follow the story. Thane, we appreciate your insight. And I guess the argument for executive privilege could be asserted even if he appeared, but he didn't appear or provide documents, which is what he was found guilty of.
But Bob, one quick thing, the judge said he was going to reject that anyway. Mm-hmm. The judge had said, I'm not going to accept that as a defense. Okay. So they knew, at least for this, he could have asserted it if he showed up to Congress, right? That's your point. Had he showed up to the actual committee hearing, they could have asserted. But this judge made it very clear, I won't even let you argue it in my courtroom.
Okay. Thane, thank you so much.